Howdy y'all, Joe's HVAC Fishing Railfan Productions here. Today we're going to be bringing you a new video. So today we're going to show you how to decode the date on a rail. So I'm sure there's probably some of you that might notice that there's writing on the webs of the rails of the tracks. And you might be wondering, well, what does this writing mean? So I'm going to show you a classic example that I am preserving from the steam era. And I'm going to show you how to decode the date on it. Let's begin. Here we're looking at my LV rail. This is a rare survivor I found. A good friend of mine gave it to me. And so here we're going to show you how to decode the date on it. So we're going to start off by looking at the rail's weight in pounds per yard. So these three numbers right here, sometimes it's two numbers depending on, and this is the weight in pounds per yard. So this rail here weighs 136 pounds per yard. So what that means, I don't want to confuse you guys, so I'm going to explain what that means. So when somebody says to you, that rail weighs 136 pounds per yard, you might be wondering, well, what does that even mean? So pounds per yard is described as how much a piece of rail weighs every 3 feet, which 36 inches is equal to 1 yard. So a 36-inch section of rail, when new, would weigh 136 pounds. This rail, we do not know its current weight in pounds per yard because it is worn down almost a half of an inch. So the 136 means the rail, when new, weighs 136 pounds per yard. So that means every 3 feet, the rail would weigh 136 pounds. The next part here is these letters. So the one got cut off a little bit because of the bolt hole being there. But that is LV. That is the section. So that means this rail was a specific size, a specific profile made by the Lehigh Valley Railroad. So 136 LV means 136 pounds per yard. And this profile was specific to the Lehigh Valley Railroad. So you can only find this profile anywhere along the Lehigh Valley system. So that's what the LV stands for, Lehigh Valley. BSCO, that is the steel manufacturer that made the rail, which in this case being the Bethlehem Steel Company. So this rail was made by the Bethlehem Steel Company. The next part is quite interesting because this rail actually came from my hometown where I was born in Steelton, Pennsylvania. So this Steelton means it was rolled in my hometown at the BSCO, at the Bethlehem Steel Plant in my hometown of Steelton, Pennsylvania. So that's 4 miles southeast of Harrisburg where I was born. The next part you might be wondering, well, what do those hash marks mean? The hash marks indicate the month that the rail was rolled. So you'll see anywhere from 1 to 12 hash marks. This one having 9, which means this rail was rolled in September. So 9 is September, 8 is August, and so on and so forth. And 1 being January, and 12 being December, and so on and so forth. So now the year of this piece of rail, this rail was rolled in 1926. As you can see right here, that is the year that the rail was rolled. So 1926 for this beautiful classic steam era beauty. And then the OH, a lot of you might get confused and like, oh, that rail was made in Ohio. No. That OH stands for open hearth. So that is the cooling method to remove the hydrogen out of this piece of rail. So OH stands for open hearth. I don't know how well we're going to see the whole thing, but we're going to do the best we can. So we're going to try to get you over here. You can see it a little better, I hope. So here's the whole thing. I hope you guys can see that okay. So let me know if you can't. 136 LV BSCO Steelton, September 1926, open hearth cooling. So that is how to decode the date on the rail. And also, we're going to maybe we'll show you some other stuff I have as well. I don't know if I have any others down here that are like, I do have some CCs upstairs, which we'll probably, so actually we're going to go up and show you that, some of the different cooling methods that they have. So before I show you guys some of my other prize collectibles, I'm going to explain to you guys some of the different cooling methods that they use. Well, classic cooling methods, and then the current ones that they have today. So we're going to start off with the modern cooling methods, because, you know, those are the most recent, and then we're going to go to the classic cooling method. So the most modern and most used cooling method to this day is vacuum tube cooling. So the way they get rid of the hydrogen is they put the rail in a vacuum tube. And the rails are cut to 80 foot sections, because that's the new standard today, is 80-foot sections of rail. Back in the old days, like with that old beauty right there, that was those were 39 feet in length, all the way up to the 1980s. Well, actually, all the way up to the 1990s, they were cut to 39 feet. But nowadays, they're all cut to 80 feet long. And now, most of the time, on the main lines of today, you usually will see welded rail instead of classic jointed rail like this. So, vacuum tubing is the most used method of cooling rails to this date, and is also one of the best cooling methods out there. So you might say to yourself, why did they switch from controlled cooling to vacuum tubing? Well, as technology advanced, so did the steel. The steel has been made stronger and more durable than ever before. But most of the time, it's the old stuff that's actually the most durable. So sometime when we're down in Chinchilla, we're going to show you guys a piece of rail I found down that way. It's a year older than me. I'm going to be 20 next week, by the way. So I've got a birthday coming up. So tomorrow, this will be like an early birthday present for me. My big rail fan meet in the first one of the spring. So anyway, sorry to get off tangent there. So the modern cooling method today that is still used is vacuum tubing. So as I said before, that's where they put the rail in a vacuum tube in order to eliminate the hydrogen and any other potential defects that could possibly weaken the steel once it gets out there and put to use. The second modern cooling method, I don't know if it's still used or not today, is the controlled cooling method. So you guys could comment down below if controlled cooling is still in use, because I'm not exactly sure. I do not want to say definitely and then find out it's not, so I'm just going to leave it unsure for right now. It's me, one of you can help me out there. Controlled cooling was another very durable. So controlled cooling was the only other best method to the classic cooling method. Because I have a 50-year-old piece of rail. It's going to be 51 in August. And it's not even worn. It's not badly worn down at all. And it's only 50 years old. And it's almost height of brand new. So that's a really good steel. So controlled cooling was obviously the best cooling method of the up to the 2000s. Last rails I know of that were control cooled were up on the Dalton siding right at the start of the switch. We have some control cooled rail from 2000. So I want to say right up to that time was when they stopped using the controlled cooling method and they switched over to vacuum tubing. I'm going to have to do some more research on the cooling methods, see if we can find out when the vacuum tubing method came out, with the way they make the steel nowadays. So anyway, controlled cooling was practically the best modern cooling method at the time, because there are lots of rails out there today that are control cooled, and they're not even worn down a quarter inch yet, even despite the super heavy trains that they see out there on the main line. So I'm definitely very impressed with that cooling method, and just how strong that steel really is. It's very surprising. And then now for the best cooling method of all, the open hearth cooling method. So a lot of you might ask me, does that OH mean Ohio on the side of the rail? No, that's the cooling method. That OH means open hearth cooling. So open hearth cooling was where they took it out to an open part of the furnace, to a hearth that was open. So then when the rail was cooling down, it eliminated hydrogen, and the hearth eliminated hydrogen from the rail itself, making it extremely durable to this day. And even today, there are still lots of old rails that are from like the 1900s, probably even the late 1800s, that are still in use today, thanks to the open hearth cooling method. And this rail right here being a perfect example of an open hearth, one of the open hearth cooling method. And I'm going to show you the profile that it has to this day, just how durable this thing really was. So there you go. I hope you guys can see that. There it is. There is the profile. So here's the ultimate profile of the LV rail. And you can see that's worn down almost a half an inch, and it's just about 100 years old. So that beauty right there is extremely durable. So it's definitely one of a kind for its era. And a lot of people say the LV rails are quite valuable to collectors, which I do agree with that. You know, I definitely agree that the LV rails are very valuable. You know, they carry a lot of value to them, especially with their importance, you know, and history behind them. So guys, I'm going to tell you a little something about this rail that's quite unique and interesting. The way I've adjusted the light, I'm sure you guys can see that, how it's flowed from heavy use over the years. And yes, this rail has actually been reversed, because on the other side there's pretty decent flowing on the other side as well. So this rail had seen lots of heavy coal trains, along with the Lehigh Valley's flagship passenger trains. But this rail is worn down mostly because of heavy coal trains that used to run on the track, you know, on the LV main through Duryea back in the 1920s, all the way up to when the LV was absorbed into Conrail in 1976. So this LV rail has quite a unique story behind it, and it's the largest rail in my whole collection, being at a length of 4 feet 3 1/4 inches long, and the weight of this beast right here is 174.4 pounds. So it's also the heaviest rail in my entire collection for being as long as it is, and also being super heavy. So weighs, and I'm about, I'd say I'm probably like 25 pounds heavier than that rail, because I'm right around 200. So I'm about 25 to 30 pounds heavier than that rail. So anyway, we're going to show you some other examples of rails that have the open hearth cooling method. This one right here being an open hearth. This one's from 1934, and this one was found off the Kaiser Valley branch. So quite a historical track this was found, and now it's being preserved. This one right here being another Kaiser Valley one. This one being in 1937, also rolled in my hometown of Steelton. And then this rare beauty right here is found in the Sunbury. So this rare beauty right here, This one's another OH rail. This one being BSCO Lackawanna. This is the first time we've actually ever featured this rail on my channel. Well, not the first time, because we did the restoration video on it. This is the first time featuring it after restoration. As you can see now, it resides where it should. It's BSCO Lackawanna, making it very rare and valuable. And also this one having the original DLW wire studs, which makes this rail even more rare because it's been buried in the ground for all these years. And now in its new home, you guys actually get to see the old school wiring studs on this one for being off the Sunbury. And I don't know when this one was rolled. I want to say sometime around 1935 to 1944, this rail was laid or rolled. So there it is. There's the old wiring. So I hope you guys enjoyed that production right there. Learning how to decode the date on a rail. And also guys, I'm going to show you this too. My first ever full DLW display. So no, guys, that tie, that black piece of that big rail is not part of the display. So I'm going to move it real quick. We're going to put it back up on the bench for right now because I still got some more work to do on it. But I figured we'd just move it there for right now to show you how to decode that LV. So we're going to move that rail. We'll be right back. Alright, we are back. We moved the Lackawanna rail right back to its spot. So I still got some more work to do on it. Gotta try to see if we can get it to a mainline finish, which is mostly there. I still gotta run a couple rounds of 5,000 yet. But anyway, here's our first full DLW display right here. This is a view from the top of the display. Sorry my big shoulders are in the way. I hope you guys can see that better. But here it is. That's the DLW tie I found. Found it right up on my trail and I tripped over it. So here it is now in preservation with the full DLW display on top. So we just recreated the classic era with a beautiful 1920s. Well, actually, so I'll tell you guys when this was made. So here it is from over here. This is my 1927 Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western tie. And then on top of it, we have two 1939 tie plates that I've restored. And then we got the rare beauty, this rare original beauty, and then that Kaiser Valley one right over there. So I thought that'd be pretty interesting to show you my biggest find of all. Being an original tie with the original tie plate marks. And so I made a DLW display for down here in the shop. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this production. Learning how to decode a rail and showing you some of the progress I've made on getting my DLW display set up. And showing the Lackawanna rail, this Lackawanna beauty for the first time. Which we are going to try to feature it in other videos. We're going to try to feature it for when we do the extra rounds of 5K work on it. Maybe run another round of 2K, maybe even up to 5 again. So guys, before we close out the video, we're going to show you that other rail that I was talking about that I've got upstairs. I'm sure you guys saw the other LVs, and in case if you didn't, I'm going to show you the rest of them. So we're going to take you guys upstairs and show you what we got in the rail room. Alright, so we're on the first floor right now, and we're going to show you what I have over here. So what we have here are some Lehigh Valley insulators that I have found. Well, actually, these two I found, and then this one Painted Horse gave to me. Good friend of mine, a fellow YouTuber and rail fan. So these are my LV insulators, almost complete. This one being the only complete one that I have. I think I did clean this one up real nice Well, I'm going to try to clean it up even nicer. So, and right here we've got another, and here are the DL&W insulators. So here are the Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western ones. As you guys can see here, I've got two Heman Gray number 42s. This one being an ice blue. So this one's pretty interesting. And then here we have a clear one. This one being in absolute mint condition. Actually, both of these being in mint condition. So we got two mint fines. And then this one is a Heman Gray number 40. So this is a pretty rare one around here. You know, it's like this one I got in Clark's Summit. So this one's really interesting. Got a couple little chips on it. Still got some of the original wood inside. This one I found on the ground. So those are my DLW ones. Quite valuable too, especially the 40s. Those ones are very valuable. And then here is my 1925. This is my other 1925, by the way. This is my other DL&W tie plate. This one being from 1925. And you can tell by the design. Oh, well, all right, guys, we got to go get the air horn. Got some bullshit going on, so we got to go get the horn. Put a stop to it. Stop to it. All right, guys, so we're going to grab the horn real quick. Because we don't let the dogs behave like that. Actually, better yet, it's actually downstairs. Alright, so it looks like I accidentally left it in the shop again. Alright, sorry about that, guys. We're in the middle of showing you guys insulators and tie plates I have while my other DLW LV display upstairs. So now we're going to show you guys and it's all gone silent. So we are grabbing the horn. Now we don't even have to honk. Alright, well, we're just going to keep it on hand then. So yeah, guys, let's kind of redo that one there. Since there was kind of a... So I got rudely disturbed by the dogs. Barking their heads off at thin air. Kind of ruined what we were trying to do. So we're gonna... So now we're gonna redo that one, guys. So we'll try to edit that first part out if possible. So anyway, let's redo it. So here are my insulators that I have. As you can see, I have two white wall Tatum number 1s. So you can see there it says white wall Tatum company number 1. This one being from 1937. Here's the last 2 digits of the year. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but there it is. And here's my other one. This one also being a white wall Tatum. Made in USA. This one being April 1931. Oh, this one's different. This one's an Armstrong. So this one's a little different. And then here is a Pyrex. This one's a Pyrex Reg USA patent. So that's pretty cool. Made in USA. It's this D63. So this one was made in April 1963. And then over here we got the DLW insulators. These two being the most common in my collection. So I've only got 3 DLW insulators. So these are my 2 Heman Gray 42s that are in mint condition. This one being a Heman Gray 42. And this one's the ice blue one. So very valuable. You know, the ice blue ones are kind of rare. And then here is a clear one, also in mint condition. So this one having 8 and 7 dots, and this is another Human Grade 42. Made in the USA. Okay, so that's definitely a good sign. USA made. And right here is the rarest of all my insulators. This is the Human Grade number 40. So I'm sure you guys can see that there. Human Grade number 40. So this one has a couple chips in it. I found this in Clark Summit near 664. So as you guys can see here, this is really interesting. This one's a Hemin Gray, so it's another kind of a rare one. This one's got a really cool marking on the top there, so I don't know if you guys can see that clearly on the camera. But look at that really cool marking on top. So I don't know if that's factory or not, but so now we're going to show you the whole display. So yeah, guys, those are definitely some rare insulators, especially the ice blue ones. Now, a lot of people say, because the Human Grade 42s are the most common of all, and it's usually the clear ones that are the most common. Well, this ice blue one, we can say it's kind of rare for, because I don't see them very often at all. Usually it's the darker green ones like this, even though this is a Human Grade 40. But yeah, guys, I wanted to kind of show you around a little bit and show you some of my other displays that we haven't featured on my channel yet. So we're going to edit that first part out because that was really bad. I was rudely disturbed while I was trying to show you guys all this cool stuff up here. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. We're going to edit the first part out, and you guys get to see this second one here. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if there are any other displays you want to see. So before we go, we're going to show you what's in the rail room now. Since I did say we were going to do that, I was going to show you guys my other examples of different cooling methods. So I do have the other two. So anyway, we're going to bring you guys up into the rail room here. Yes, I know things are a little bit of a mess right now, so I have displays moved around. But anyway, here are the other two examples of the other two cooling methods. This blue one and that black one being the most modern cooling methods. So this one right here is a vacuum tube method of cooling. So this one is vacuum tube. And this rail is 24 inches long. This is a 2-footer. Weighs 91 pounds. So then this one right here, this is the control-cooled rail. This one being rolled in August 1972. And if you guys look at the profile, which I'm going to show you guys that, because this has got an interesting profile to it. So you guys can see here, this rail, this is only worn down maybe, oh, it's not even worn down a 1/4 inch at all. This one maybe being maybe like an 1/8 or even 3/16 at the most. So for this rail being 50 years old, it is not badly worn down at all. And this LV here being worn down a 1/4 inch. Oops, sorry about that. So here's the yellow jacket. So before we close out the video, here's a little question. Hold on. Sorry about that. So now I got a little question for you. Out of all these rails here, sorry for the little mess, but out of all these ones here, guys, which ones do you want me to feature? So of course we got the few different variants of the Lehigh Valley paint scheme. So which ones do you guys want me to feature in our next video? Do you guys want me to feature the orange jacket version of the Lehigh Valley yellow jacket? So let me show you from the other side since the lighting is better. So do you guys want me to feature the orange jacket of the Lehigh Valley? Well, even though it's not an actual paint scheme, these are just different variants I made. So you guys want me to feature this one? the blue jacket version of the yellow jacket. The yellow jacket itself right here. This is the actual LV yellow jacket, by the way. Or do you guys want me to feature this one? Since these are my other 4 LV rails. So which ones do you guys want me to feature? Do you guys want me to feature the blue jacket? Or the orange jacket? Blue jacket version? Plain yellow one? Or the yellow jacket version? Which one do you guys want to see? Let me know in the comments below which one you want to see. Or if you want me to go in depth on the other 2 back there, you know, feel free to ask me about it. So we're going to show you them once again before we close out the video so you guys know which ones I'm talking about. So you want me to feature this one in my next video? This is an orange jacket. This one, Lehigh Valley blue, blue jacket version. The plain yellow one right here. Or do you want me to feature the actual yellow jacket? This is the actual yellow jacket right here. So if you guys want me to feature this one in our next video, feel free to let me know. So comment down below what you guys think. And whichever comment I see that has the most likes, or somebody replies, show this one, then, then we'll show that. We'll show whichever one gets the most likes and interest. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video.